Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trenopole, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Cincinnati Reds. All right, guys, if you found the show, smash that thumbs up button, hit that like and subscribe button because I am adding people. I am up to 659 subscribers. That is awesome. Let's try to keep it rolling. Get to 700 as fast as we can. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. Okay, before I get into the topic today, I kind of want to rehash a little bit of what I was talking about yesterday, kind of clarify, I guess, what I was saying, because I had a lot of people on Bengals Nation comment on just the title of the show. I don't know if they actually watched it. So, okay. The title was, how is Ohio State ranked higher than the University of Cincinnati? My point was, this is not preseason. It's not a preseason poll. They are actually playing games. I mean, University of Cincinnati will have played almost 4 games, maybe 5 games before the Big Ten even plays. My point is, what are they ranking Ohio State on? Now, people say, they're ranking them on, if you head-to-head against UC, they'll beat them. That's fine. They haven't played a game yet. You can't rank anybody. How are you going to rank Ohio State over UC or any other team when Ohio State hasn't played a game yet? That's all I'm saying. Now, I understand. They play a game, sure, they're going to rank them above us. They'll probably kick our butt. I understand that. I just think it's silly and stupid to rank these teams when they haven't played. That's all I was saying. Everybody's like, well, it's Ohio State. They're better than blah, blah. Like, hey, I'm an Ohio State fan. I like Ohio State. But, I just don't understand how they're ranked higher than UC right now when they haven't played a game. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's get into the topics for today. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see this coming. Dick Williams has stepped down as the president of baseball operations for the Cincinnati Reds. I was just reading stuff from him yesterday saying how disappointed he was in the season and how they're going to make changes. He's talking about coaching staff's going to stay the same and all this stuff. Now, all of a sudden, he steps down. So it's kind of interesting. But Williams stepped down after 5 seasons. Now, Williams, whose family owns a stake in the club, is looking to spend more time with his family. Here's a statement from Williams. I don't expect everyone to understand my choice, but my situation is unique. I have a family business other than the Reds. That means a lot to me. I have 4 young kids, and I need to spend more time with them. I have had an exhilarating 15 years, meaning with the Reds organization. And we have given our team some great opportunities to win. The ultimate prize has eluded us, and I harbor more disappointment than anyone can possibly imagine. But I have thrived under the platform of our family business. So all I say is best wish, best luck to him. You got to enjoy your kids when they're young. I always live my life, God, family, work. So I understand where he's coming from as far as that go. I just find it oddly unique to, he posted it on Reds.com that, they're going to make changes or not going to make changes. They're going to try to, improve the offense and all this stuff. And then, a couple days later, he's stepping down. So I have no insight for information. It would just be pure speculation on my part of why he's doing it. But, you got to take the man's word for it, of what he said. Now, next question is, all right, who are the top candidates? Well, of course, you got Nick Krall, the Reds GM. He has just completed his 18th season in the organization. Now, that would be an easy move. He's already in the organization. He works closely with Dick Williams. You could move him up as dual role because Dick Williams had that at one time. He was the GM and the president. So you could do that with Nick Kroll if you want. But there's some other options that have been thrown out there. You have Michael Hill of the Marlins. He's the president of baseball operations there. Hill is in his 7th season in his current title. Now, that would be, Kroll would stay at GM and you make Hill the president. That's a guy who's already been a president. He's been running the baseball operations. He's been doing it for 7 years, so he's pretty vetted and should know what he's doing. I mean, hey, the Marlins went farther than the Reds did. So now this one's near and dear to my heart. This is just because he's a Cincy boy, Tim Naring. Naring is the Yankees' vice president of baseball operations. Naring joined the Yankees in the fall of 2007, and in his 7 seasons, or in his 7th season, as the BP vice president of baseball operations. Now, Naring, like I said, he's a Cincy boy, and he's a graduate from LaSalle High School in 1985. He would be interesting. We always have heart for, the Cincinnati guys. I mean, that's one thing I was liked about hiring David Bell, because he's from Cincinnati. He knows the culture. He knows, how much the Reds mean to people around here. But then he started managing them, and not so much not sure how much I want him as a manager. All right. Tim says, hiring outside the organization, bring in some new philosophies. Yeah, you could do that. Let's just say the only one they've said as far as the list that I saw from inside is Kroll. Another one you got here is Matt Arnold. He's the Brewers GM. Arnold, now this is interesting. This is where other organizations have thought highly of him. Arnold was a finalist for the Pittsburgh Pirates GM job last summer. If you watch the show, I don't say those are cuss words, kind of like the Squealers. So he said Pittsburgh Pirates. I got Johnny Amarez for the Phillies. He's a special assistant and in scouting and player development. Now, those are the names that I got. Got it off Cincinnati.com. Those are all very capable guys. I kind of agree with Tim. I do think maybe we need some new blood in here and to shake things up, do something different. I've said this. We need a different philosophy. I know people said, we need a different philosophy and stuff before, and that's when we brought Kroll and, Dick Williams in. I am just not on that you have to do everything by the numbers, and it says this, and, you do that, and get Sweet Lou. I think Sweet Lou is retired. I think that's who you meant. Lil. I think you meant Sweet Lou there, John. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what you're talking about. But there is, in my opinion, we need a philosophy change, just in the approach, basically to hitting, to hitting, and people say, well, it was just this year. No, they did it last year too. Last year we swung for the fences. We hit more home runs than anybody else. We did it again this year, and they got us nothing. These teams, if you watch the playoffs, these teams are able to do both. And that's where you have to be. You can't be just one-sided. You can't get, just swing for the fences and hope for the best. Because if that doesn't happen, you go 22 innings without scoring anything. John has another suggestion here. David Ortiz. Okay. I don't know if David Ortiz has has ever done anything other than play baseball, and now he's a commentator on TV. That is a new thing that they do get commentators and stuff to become managers, but I'm not sure about presidents or GMs. Tim's got some here. Need better scouting, drafting, and development at the minor league levels. Find someone that can get this organization to follow the path of the Tweety Birds. I agree with you, and we did that. That was what, not Dick Williams. Oh my goodness. What was the guy's name before? Why can't I think of the GM before that? We got him, Walt Jocketty. He came from St. Louis. That was, I thought, the formula that we were supposed to follow then. But I agree with you. I mean, I hate the Tweety Birds, but they go to the playoffs every year, and who do they have? They sign maybe one or two free agents, and they find pitching, and they can hit. And the thing is, they grind out at bats, and that's the biggest thing. To me, the biggest problem with this team, and they can do it because if you watch the end of the season when they won their 5 straight series, they were grinding out at bats and they were getting on base and they were scoring not just by the home run. So it can be done. It's just, to me, it's a habit or a mind. I don't know what it is. There's something with this team, especially when I got to the playoffs. A guy got on third base, and like I said last week, their nuts shriveled up and they couldn't freaking hit the ball. So, all right, John, now you're just throwing guys' names. Barry Bonds. They're not going to hire Barry Bonds. I mean, come on. I've got to try to get some serious questions here. Barry Bonds would help them inject them with steroids, and now they'd all hit 70 home runs. So like I said, let's go down the listing. Yeah, Nick Krall of the Reds, Michael Hall of the Marlins. He's a president of baseball operations. Tim Naring of the Yankees, Matt Arnold of the Brewers, and Johnny Alvarez of the Phillies. So these are all the guys that are first coming out now. Like I said, personally, just because he's a Cincinnati boy, I say Tim Naring. But I do kind of like the idea of Michael Hall because the Florida Marlins, it wasn't that long ago that they were tanking, and they weren't doing anything. And it's not like they signed a lot of guys. And I know we got 16 teams made the playoffs, but they still made it, So whatever he's doing down there, it works. So that might be a good guy to try. I mean, they got to try something. I mean, and the other thing is like old time baseball. And I'm an old guy. I like the Castellanos hitting second. It was cool. But if you got two guys like Shogo and oh my goodness, why can't I think of anybody's name now? The center fielder for the Reds. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, you got those two guys. They're both leadoff hitters, on base guys. Old time baseball, you need guys to get on base and get over so your mashers can knock them in. And to me, and they can run, and that puts pressure on the pitcher to start it off. You need to start off, I think, quick and get out there and score. Put pressure on the defense. Put pressure on the pitcher. We don't ever do that, And if you get up there and you got 2 outs already, and then Votto's hitting third, he hits a solo shot, well, that's great. But it's almost like Chris Welch just said this before. It's almost a momentum killer. It's like, all right, we got 1 run. Senzel, thank you. Sheesh, why couldn't I think of Senzel's name? Thank you very much. Whoever you are, Facebook user, Senzel. But yeah, if you put Senzel and Shogo on top of the lineup, that just, like you said, start off the game, get pressure, get them on base, get them running around the bases, get something going. Just sit around and waiting for it to, I'd say a 3-run homer, but most of the time we hit solo shots, So it's, to me, that's the philosophy that needs to change. And like, I'll give credit to Tim there. The Cardinals do that, and I hate the Tweety Birds, but that's what they do. They have Yonder Molina, who I cannot stand, but the man has worked his butt off and turned himself into a halfway decent hitter, and he will grind out of bats, and he'll get on base. And I'd say with Matt Carpenter and just different guys they've had throughout the years who drive us all nuts. But, Jeremy's getting into it. Now we're just going to throw names out here. Jeremy's throwing it out there. Hey, Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah, we'll make Ken Griffey Jr. the president of baseball operations. But, yeah, I just, in my opinion, there has to be a philosophy change. And we will definitely find out. Now, moving on to my second topic here. Joe freaking Burrow's press conference. I know it's very exciting. But he had some pretty interesting stuff, I think he said, coming up against the Baltimore Ravens. And just Bengals fans, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But the Bengals have typically done pretty good in Baltimore. I'm not saying we're going to go in there and win. And I always say, I'm a half a guy half glass full kind of guy. I think I said that right. And I'm always optimistic. Okay. And if they can play like they did last week, they can win a lot of freaking games. And they can go into Baltimore and win. All right. Got a couple questions that Joe was asked. They asked him, is this the most talented team you will face this season? Meaning the Baltimore Ravens. This is me answering it. Yes. It's going to be really hard. But Joe says, I don't know. They are really, really good. They have really, really good players, and they are really well coached. It's going to be a challenge. You're not kidding. It's going to be a challenge. Now, this was a good one. You have done just about everything except get the deep ball going and get that accomplished. What are you guys working on, or how are you working on to get that done? Joe, in typical Joe fashion, said we are about 90% completions on our underneath passes. We played a lot of good DBs that haven't allowed us to take big shots over the top. So we are going to do a lot of different things on the field. Everything's on the table. I mean, they've taken shots, but really last week was really the first time Joe actually had time to take a shot downfield. He wasn't running for his life. So if that offensive line holds, we could. Now, Joe, it's hard to be passing the excuse me. It's hard to not go for it. It's hard for him to check down and to be patient is basically what they're asking. And Joe comes back and says, we've been very successful in the last two weeks taking short shots and completion. So he said he's going to take what they're going to give him. He said he got like a 90% completion rate. Dude, he's got 3 straight 300-yard passing games. I mean, and that's without having any deep game whatsoever. Now, this was my favorite question of the whole thing. Joe Mixon, FedEx Player of the Week. And I said, what's it like having a guy like Joe on your side? Now, this is cool. This is where it gets you excited. I'm hoping this is where the Bengals mindset is. He said, when Joe plays like that and the O-line plays that like that, we're going to win a lot of games. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't know. And maybe it's a pipe dream, but if the offensive line can hold and get anywhere close to what they did last week against the Jaguars, do that against the Ravens, Joe's going to light them up. Because one thing Joe did say in his press conference, he said, they're always asking about split it out 5 wide or whatever. Why is he like that? He goes, what makes them declare the defense? He said it's easier. Well, the thing is, if we can spread them out wide and give Joe enough time, Joe's going to find somebody to get open. I'm very confident in that. So we say it every week. It's the offensive line. If the offensive line can hold, we're going to be really, really good. All right. Now, this is an interesting thing he kind of said in his press conference. That him and Lamar Jackson got cut from the same Elite 11 camp, which is kind of surprising. They both got cut, and they're both playing in the NFL in the same division now. And this is a rivalry, I think, that it can happen and can be one that we have for 10 years or more. I mean, I'm really looking forward to – I want to see these two go at it. That's what I really hope the offensive line holds. This could be a really, really fun game, or this could be a really bad game if the offensive line does not hold at all. So anyway, that's my thoughts about the Bengals. There was another article that I posted on Bengals Nation. It's an interesting thing. Let's see here. Zach Taylor. I didn't get a chance to write anything down about Zach Taylor's press conference because I had a lot of stuff going on. But I got this here. Okay, it says that Bengals are unfazed by A.J. Green's quiet start. Now, this is interesting. Green is second on the team in receptions and third in receiving yards. Now, did you guys know that? Because I sure as heck didn't. I didn't know he was second in receiving and second in yards. So that's a very interesting thing. I didn't know that. And another thing that somebody, I don't remember, somebody tweeted at me or messaged me on my show or something like that was an idea. And I never thought about this, but this is what the Cardinals have done with Larry Fitzgerald is why don't you try to put AJ in the slot? That's not a bad idea. To try to see how he does there. Because I don't think either he's, like you said, he's either injured or he just doesn't have it anymore or whatever. I don't know what it is, but maybe trying him in the slot position could get him going. So I don't know. So I got a couple things to talk about. Like I said, I brought it up yesterday's show about Ohio State and how they are ranked higher than University of Cincinnati. And like I said, Ohio State fans blew me up afterwards, which I said, if you guys get on the show at 5:00, we could have discussed it. But like I said, getting back to that point, again, I am not in no way saying UC is better than Ohio State. I'm not that big of a homer. I mean, we did play them last year and we got our butts kicked. I'm just don't understand, and this is for just not just Ohio State, it's Pac-10, Pac-12, or Big Ten, Pac-12 teams of how you're ranked now when you haven't played. That's the biggest thing that I do not understand is what are they ranking them on? And some people say, oh, it's preseason poll. Well, I understand. They had a preseason poll. That's preseason. That's before the season starts, people. The season started. Pac-12, Big Ten decided they weren't going to play until January. Then like, oh, wait, maybe we messed up. Maybe we're going to play. So we reward them by, put them on the. I don't even know why they're ranked. That's the biggest thing to me. What are you ranking them on? I don't understand. Keep the Bearcats under the radar. Motivation for them. Yeah, well, they're really not under the radar. They're ranked 11th in the country. So I mean, people know about them. And I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, if the Big Ten and Pac-12 didn't come back, there were people that were picking the Bearcats to get into the Final Four for the college football playoffs. That was when Pac-10 or Pac-12 and Big Ten weren't coming back, but now they're back. Well, not yet. They're coming back. So I understand that UC is probably we're not even if we go undefeated, we're not getting into the playoffs, and that's not my point. My point is what are they ranking them on? That's my big thing. There you go, Jeremy. What's up, buddy? Buccaneers, Buckeyes, top 4, period. Who do you think you are? I'm Strawberry Ice. Jeff Trunapole. I'm the guy we do shows with. You're on my show Monday. You're gonna be on my show Friday. You and Mike. That's me. Hi, remember? Well, I mean, Jeremy, seriously. I mean, I don't. What are they ranking them on? That's the thing, and it just irritates me because it's like, well, what are you gonna? You got to get them ranked in now so they can move up. It's like, not really. I mean, keep them out, let them play a game, and then rank them. Then, yeah, you can jump them up. I mean, it's going to happen anyway. So, I mean, I understand that. I just don't get why they're ranked ahead of the Bearcats now or ahead of anybody. Why are they even ranked? What did you look at? What film did you watch of the 2020 season? You couldn't even watch spring ball. They didn't do that. You couldn't watch anything. There's nothing to watch for any Big Ten team to rank them. That's it. You're basing it on, because you think they're better, which I agree with you. They're probably better. But at least don't rank them until they start playing. That's all I'm saying. I don't get it. I don't get it. You got to be able to, produce something, So what do you guys think? I got 6 people watching. You guys, I got a big crowd today. What do you guys think about the Dick Williams stepping out? You think it's a good move, bad move? I mean, I just think it's kind of curious, because he I was like, Jeremy's got something here. I got to say this here. Wait, put that back up here. Bearcats are playing high school cheerleaders. Whatever, dude. All right, we got another question. Who you nominating? I got to hold it. Oh, nominate Pete Rose for president. Yeah, that'll be kind of hard. He's banned from baseball. We can't nominate him. We could nominate the guys that I said on the list. Those are ones that are rumored, are like high on everybody's list. I don't even know if they've even talked to any of these guys. But at least they got Nick Kroll, who's already in there. Michael Hall, Tim Naring, Matt Arnold, and Johnny Almaraz. I mean, these are guys, and the guy from the Brewers, Matt Arnold, he almost, or he was in the final running for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sorry, excuse me, I cussed on my own show. Pittsburgh Pirates GM or president job. So, he, when you get that close, he's a guy that you probably should really take a look at and consider. And I know, like I said we could move Nick Kroll up to president and GM because Dick Williams did that for a while. But like I said, one of the other viewers on here, Tim, said that we need somebody out from the outside. And I like I said, I agree with that. I really do think we need somebody from the outside. I mean, like I said, my heartstrings would say Tim Naring. He's a Cincy boy, But that's one thing I kind of liked about David Bell, being a Cincinnati guy, knowing the Reds tradition and yada, yada, yada. And right now, I'm not so sold on David Bell as the manager. I mean, just to me, he, like last year, seemed like he played every game like Game 7 of the World Series. And then this year, he kind of backed like way off. I mean, he got thrown out of how many games last year? I know we only had 60 games this year. We got thrown out of how many games last year? And he had a way better team this year. And just, if you can't, and people are like, oh, these are, professional baseball players. They shouldn't need to be motivated. If you're playing every day, just say 162 games. And this year you had to play 60 games where you couldn't do anything else. I mean, they couldn't leave the hotel. You would go from your home to the park, back home, from the hotel to the park, back to the hotel. That's it. You were not supposed to go anywhere else. So that's a grind in itself. You can't see your family. You can't see your friends. You can't go out and just do something to get away from baseball. And to me, that's where a manager really should have done something to try to take the pressure off the monotony. Yeah, I know they're playing baseball. They're playing a kid's game. But, dude, if you're doing it day in, day out, day after day after day, it's going to get to you. You gotta do something to try to break it up or try to light a fire under their butt. And like I said, the one move that David Bell did that I will give him credit for, and I think it was a big move, he sat Joey Votto down for 3 days. And once he did that, Votto either calmed down, got pissed off, something, but it worked. And Votto started hitting better. And then once he started going, then eventually the rest of the team got going. So that was something. But it's like they went to the playoffs and they forgot everything they did that got them there. It's just, and it's kind of like, that's one thing that always drive me nuts about Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker would be like, oh, we got to stay calm. It's the playoffs, and you got to take it just like another game. Like, no, it's the playoffs. This is not a regular season game. There's pressure. You got to score. David Bell, you got to coach like you want to win it, And honestly, the way David Bell managed, I don't think he could have done anything differently. It's just the whole culture of the team and how at times they just could not get out of that rut. Once they got in a certain rut, they couldn't get out of it. And that's a big deal in baseball because baseball is full of streaks, and you are going to fail way more times than you're going to succeed. So that's where guys need help and need motivation and Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players there, my favorite basketball player of all time, would use anything to motivate himself, to make him hate that person, to beat them. And that's what great players have to do. And sometimes players don't have it. Sometimes they need a manager to help them do that. Sometimes they need a hitting coach to help them do it. Sometimes they need something. So when Dick Williams comes out and says, I think we're going to keep the coaching staff the same, I'm like, really? I mean, I mean, I know we paid a lot of money, and our hitting coach is supposed to be really well, and I'm not blaming him, but if you're not going to fire David Bell, you got to change something, and really the only position that they really, I think, need to upgrade is shortstop. That's really it. And everywhere else, we've got really good players. Yes, they didn't score, but they're really good players. So I don't, that's where I'm like, what can you change? I don't think you should change the players because they're good players. They've done it before. There's something there that's missing. I'll put it to you this way. All right. In the 80s, the Reds finished 4 years in a row second. And then P. Rose had the scandal and everything, 89, and everything went downhill. 1990, they had basically the same team. I mean, you flip John Franco for Randy Myers and Billy Hatcher. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's the same team they had basically from 87 to 88. Maybe 88 to 90. It's basically the same team. The biggest difference was the manager. And he was a crazy, fiery son of a gun. And I loved him to death. And yeah, he would do some crazy stuff and throw bases and do all this. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's not necessarily the antics in public. It's the stuff he did behind, the scenes in the clubhouse, different things that they do. Like, Joe Madden for the Cubs, or it was with the Cubs. He has these stupid things where they wear pajamas or whatever. They go on, road trips, just stuff like that. And it just, to me, it seems, I don't know David Bell from a hole in the wall, but every time I've ever seen him do an interview, it's like, yes, well, we have to, get better, and that we're going to hit. And, if that's the way he is, dude, I'm not going to be very motivated to play, Let's see here. Jenna, when the baseball operations presidents come in, he will clean house. You mean like the managers and everybody? That is if he is, that's a possibility if they get somebody from the outside. Yeah, I could see him wanting to bring his own people in. So that is a possibility that could happen. If you get, one of these guys from outside, yeah, they could get rid of everybody and get, a whole new GM, new coaching staff and everything. And maybe that's what needs to happen, because, Dick Williams and Nick Krall have been here for a couple of years, and this really is the only year that we've really had a chance. Actually, not a chance. We made the playoffs. This is really the only year that we've had that. So, and like I said, I don't think the players aren't bad. They got good players. There's just something there that just does not click, and I don't know what it is, but I'm just comparing it to stuff that I've seen over the years of watching baseball. I mean, another thing the Reds did, I love Tony Perez, and I hated when they fired him. It was terrible, but they got through a awful start in 93. They fired Tony Perez, which I think was terrible, but Davey Johnson came in. They were so far back they couldn't catch anybody, and we only had the 93. We didn't have the multiple divisions and stuff. I think we're still in the West End, so you had to win the National League West End. We were so far behind we couldn't catch it, but the Reds played better. So those are things, you got to shake them up, Yeah, that's what you mean. Right. Yeah. And it could happen. And like I said, maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need, I mean, like Tim said earlier, they need an outside guy, and bring all new people in, from the GM to the coaching staff to everything. But if you do that, we might lose Trevor Bauer because he really likes our pitching coach. So that one I might want to keep just so we keep Trevor Bauer. And the way our pitching staff pitched, I'd keep him. That would be the one I would not get rid of. Our pitching coach, try to keep Trevor Bauer, and everybody else. You could blow out. I seriously doubt to blow everybody out, but it could happen. The Reds. I'm trying to think. Last time I remember them blowing everybody out was Jim Bowden when they finally got rid of him, and that was 2003 or something. I don't remember. But yeah, that was the last time. I think then they blew him out and got the manager out. And yeah, that was the last time I remember anything like that happening. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who the Reds get and what they do in this offseason, because we got a lot of stuff going on, and they got to make a decision quickly, I think, because you got free agents. Free agency started first week of November. Nick Castellanos, Nick Cablastos, hopefully will stay, but he could opt out and could be a free agent. Trevor Bauer's he's going to be the biggest free agent in baseball, I think. I mean, he, by my account, he should be the NL Cy Young Award winner. He had the best season I've ever seen for a Reds pitcher. Hopefully the Reds can sign him, but you never know. He said some stuff where he likes it here. He has fun here. He wants to stay here, but we've heard it before. I mean, Brian Kelly said he liked Cincinnati and wanted to stay and left. So, I mean, I hope he does stay. I do think Trevor is a different kind of dude. I don't think he's completely in it for the money. I mean, obviously, everybody's in it for the money, but I don't think he's going to try to get the maximum amount of money. I think he wants to be somewhere where he's comfortable. He likes the pitching coach. He likes the area. He likes his teammates. And so far, Reds have got a leg up on other teams as far as that goes. But that's my point, though. They got to figure out what they're going to do. They got to get a new president in and either keep everything the same, blow everybody out, get it going here. And this needs to happen before free agency. So it's kind of good that Dick Williams did this now, because he's got us a couple weeks before free agency starts. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. Like I said, and I don't really see them changing much players on the field. I think it's more of trying to keep guys that we had. We got to address the shortstop situation, as I said before. So that is one big key, that position that they need to address. So anyway, I'm going to get to the Facebook groups that I help run. I invite you guys to come and join. They are Bengals Nation, Bearcats Country, Reds Country, and Cyclones Country. And do me a favor, follow me on all my social media platforms. They're all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you haven't didn't get a chance to watch the show live, I will put it up on the podcast later on tonight. You guys can check it out. Do me a favor, give me a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate that. YouTubers, we're doing awesome. I keep adding people. I'm at 659 subscribers. I greatly appreciate all you guys. So just keep telling everybody about me. Like, subscribe, share. Friday, we're going to do a Bengals-Ravens preview show. I'll bring my boys, Jeremy and Mike, in. So it should be a good show. I hope you guys can join us. And other than that, I'm about to end my show, and I got to get the banner up there, or it just doesn't work, Everybody likes my music. Other than that, that's just sports, baby. See you guys.